Alright lads, how you all doing? My name's S.T.O.C.K and today I'm bringing you episode 2 of S.T.O.C.K, the series where I choose default weapons and I give you a review on them without any attachments. If you haven't seen the last episode, then please do go check that out. It was the G36E and the G3A3. I thought it was a pretty good review. I have things a bit more in order this time, and this time I'm reviewing the M60 and the FAMAS. So I'm going to start off with the M60 here. I'm using it with the bipod because it's actually unlocked with the bipod by default. So I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to start off with the damage of this weapon. The maximum damage of the M60 is 34, making it a 3-shot kill up close within 50 meters. And it then rounds off to 22, making it a 5-shot kill thereafter. So it's a pretty good damage weapon. It's on par with things like the G3A3 and I think the SKS as well, don't hold me to that. So I've given the damage on this weapon 4 out of 5 stars. Moving on to the rate of fire of this weapon, it actually has quite a slow rate of fire in comparison to some of the other LMGs. They did this so that the recoil could be more handled because this gun does have a pretty heavy recoil. Rate of fire of this weapon is 580 rounds per minute, so that can make it difficult to get kills in close quarters. But overall I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. I know why they did give it a low rate of fire, but that's not what this show is about, guys. It's about me getting the maximum performance out of every aspect of every gun. Moving on to the accuracy now. The accuracy is pretty hard to fire automatically. I'd recommend firing 3-round bursts, or as you can see on the screen I'm using the bipod, but that's cheating. But it does need a lot of time to settle back down after sustained fire, and you can misplace your bullets a lot of the time. For that reason I only gave it 2 out of 5 stars. Now the iron sights, I actually really like the iron sights on the M60. They're very open, they offer a lot of peripheral vision, they make good for tracking targets and chasing opponents. They're quite easy to get used to as well, but the only thing I can say, and this is why it's not getting 5 stars, is in sustained firing it's easy to lose track of the sight and the bullets won't hit their target. Like if you fire this gun fully automatic, you do lose track of the little sight on the front of the gun and you don't know where you're shooting at. So for that reason I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Pretty generous in my opinion for such an ugly looking sight. And finally for the M60 is hip fire. Now I wouldn't recommend hip firing this weapon because of its low rate of fire. However, it is possible to get kills if you manage to shoot them in the head because it does have quite a high damage. So it is possible to get kills on weakened opponents and stuff, but I'd only recommend that as a last ditch effort when being shot at by a close opponent. Although don't expect to win, you know, this is just you against them. And for that I only gave this weapon 2 out of 5. So overall I'd give this weapon 3 stars, which isn't actually too bad. I actually really like playing with the M60. I think it's a very fun gun to use, especially that chugga feeling you get when you kill a load of people with it. But I thought that was a pretty good score, 3 out of 5. It's not too bad for such a kind of heavy light machine gun that's been around with us for many decades. Okay, the next weapon is the FAMAS, the famous French rifle that caused us all a lot of grief when it first came out this time last year. But since then it's changed, and it hasn't exactly been changed for better, lads. It is unlocked with the 12 times ballistic scope, but every weapon in the Back to Karkin DLC seemed to have that scope, so I didn't deem it appropriate to include it in this review. So I'm just giving it its own review based on it with no attachments at all. So the damage of the FAMAS is 25 up close, making it a 4-shot kill, and that drops off to 18.4, making it a 6-shot kill at range. But I don't see why I'd be shooting this gun at range. But it's pretty solid damage for assault rifle. It's kind of on par with most other, and I gave it 3 out of 5. The rate of fire on this gun is 1000 rounds per minute, making it the highest rate of fire weapon in the game, and also giving it the fastest time to kill out of any weapon in the game. And for that reason I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 because it cannot be matched in terms of rate of fire. Accuracy, however, is quite poor on this weapon ever since the old patch that came out that completely destroyed this weapon and ruined its good reputation. So burst firing is essential if you want to hit any target that's about 20 meters away. Recoil tends to sway up and to the right, and it's not suitable for any mid to long range gunfights, you should say, in close quarter proximity where this gun has its strengths, I wouldn't recommend using it any other way. And for that, I only gave accuracy 1 out of 5 stars because it's just very, very poor on this weapon. Another poor feature of this weapon is its iron sights, and without a doubt these are the worst iron sights in the game. The peripheral vision is obscured by the frames that hold the small annular rear sight, and it's very, very difficult to track moving targets, so I think the iron sights on this weapon should be avoided altogether. And moving on to the last one is hip fire. Now, I think hip fire is the only way to use this weapon. The 1000 round per minute rate of fire on this gun, combined with an average spread for an assault rifle, it pretty much makes this weapon great for one-on-one situations in close quarter. I wouldn't recommend engaging multiple enemies because you do only have that 25 round magazine and it can be drained in less than 2 seconds, and you'll end up finding yourself needing to reload, swapping to pistols and getting killed. It is, however, trailing behind the F2000 for being the best hip firing assault rifle out there. The F2000 obviously has a tighter spread and it does have a slightly lower rate of fire at 850, but it's a lot more accurate. It can be used in medium situations also, and yeah, basically those 5 extra rounds make a lot of difference on it. It's a lot more controllable to use it. But overall, I gave the FAMAS 3 stars out of 5. Now, I thought this was a very generous review on the FAMAS, seeing as in practicality it's quite a poor rifle to use. You'll see in this gameplay that I've ended up having to use my backup Rex pistol a lot more than the actual assault rifle itself. So it is a good combination to have a good pistol with this weapon because you will find yourself running out of bullets a lot of times. Anyway, lads, if you liked this episode of S.T.O.C.K, then please leave a like, and if you want to see particular weapons used, do leave them down in the comments. I'll be checking out all comments, so if you have any questions about any of these guns or you want to correct me on something, just leave it down there and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Anyway, lads, my name's been S.T.O.C.K. Thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.